Welcome, everybody, to HRE USA's International Human Rights Day celebration. We are already recording, um, and this is our day to recognize and celebrate the UDHR and other rights that possibly aren't even articles within the UDHR. Now, I'm going to pass the mic over to my co-facilitator, Liz, and we're going to start with the Edward O'Brien Award.
Yes, thank you, Alana. So during these events, we typically like to honor some amazing individuals who have done great work in human rights. So the first set of awards that we will be going over is the O'Brien Award. So this was first established in memory of Edward O'Brien, who was a pioneer in human rights education. And every year we honor somebody who has given or has had outstanding contributions to human rights education in the U.S. So I'd like to introduce first our individual awardee, and then afterwards we'll hear from our organizational awardee. But to give you a little background on our individual awardee, Dr. Pedro Jose Gonzalez Corona. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce that correctly. He is the assistant professor of human rights at Northern Arizona University. He researches human rights violations, genocide, state-sponsored violence in Latin America, and is currently working on a book right now. So I will pass it over to him to give some remarks.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy to be here. I'm honored. And I am really bad at talking about me, so I'm gonna take advantage of this day, December 10th, because it is also my mom's birthday, and I will celebrate her, so to speak. One day in 1975, and excuse me, I don't see my presentation, so
Yes,
can I?
okay, Pedro, you just tell me I'll start it, and then you just tell
Yeah,
me when to go to the next slide. Okay?
okay, we can start now, please. So sorry. Yes. So one day in 1975, my mom took me and my sister to the park. And after walking for a while, we saw a little boy inside a fountain. He was bleeding. So my mom, who was a nurse, picked him up and took him to our house. She gave him some stitches, antibiotics, and one of my Matchbox cars. The boy then returned every day until his wound healed. And after a week, my sister and I asked, "Why are you doing this? He's from the street. He smells. He was playing without shoes in the fountain." And that was a major offense when you're 5. She gave us a long lecture, impossible to summarize here, but what I remember and what defined my way of thinking was that the boy was important, period. My mom's speech simply was about responsibility and engaging in a relationship with others. Back then, that was my introduction to some kind of a human rights theory, if you will. Next. Um, After years of school and books, I realized that human rights are also a matter of perception. For example, lecturing in Puebla, Mexico, faculty and students questioned the existence of human rights, arguing that walking out of this lecture, we could be kidnapped or assaulted by police or criminals and nobody would do anything. On the other hand, during a trip with students to El Paso, Texas, and Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, we stopped by the Gran Candela, which is a monument that commemorates the 23 people killed at Walmart in 2019 during a hate crime. In this case, with American students, human rights seem to belong to others, somehow distant from us. That discrepancy in perception fuels my teaching philosophy. To be sure, I aspire to present human rights as a culture that surrounds us and connects us regardless of time, space, and environment. Next. One way of implementing my vision is through inviting people to learn by doing, or the assimilation of history and stories. One example is the creation of exhibits or faculty-led projects that involve lectures, research, and the curation of visual means of representation. Next. Recently, my research focused on forced disappearances and the search collectives dedicated to locating clandestine mass graves in Mexico. To create awareness, we showed photographic exhibits in several venues, for example, in Flagstaff, Arizona. And this exhibit soon will be traveling to Guatemala and Mexico City. Next. As you saw in the previous slide, students and faculty always work together in this type of project because that is the purpose. We also had an exhibit on the Mexican casta paintings, so that gave us an opportunity to talk about social stratification, discrimination, etc. Next. In this way, I implement my teaching philosophy as a way to connect with others, nurturing the relationship through fulfilling ethical demands. That boy in the fountain is always in my mind, not only because my mom showed us that it was our responsibility to hear his cry for help, but because there is not such a thing as a lesser person. Next. And thank you so much to Human Rights Education, to the committee, and everybody who has supported me through my career. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that presentation and your remarks. I think I can speak on behalf of everyone. Your work is truly wonderful. And it was also great to hear from you and see your presentation. I echo all of the claps and hearts that are being sent right now. So thank you again. Next, we're going to transition to the next part of our O'Brien Award, which is the Organizational Award. And this year, it will go to, or has gone to, the World as It Could Be Human Rights Education Program. This is truly a wonderful program that has inspired people of all ages to take action towards equality, justice, and dignity, using the creative arts to deepen understanding of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And the program now reaches schools and communities all over the United States. So next, I would love to welcome Sandy Sokot and Dr. Yvonne Vissing from The World as It Could Be to share their reflections about the organization and their work in human rights.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I'll start and hand it over to Yvonne. It is such an honor to have the World as It Could Be Human Rights Education Program receive the Edward O'Brien Award from HRE USA. This deeply meaningful validation of the value of this work means a great deal to me and Yvonne. 19 years ago, on December 8th, The World as It Could Be, a Declaration of Human Rights, was presented at Balboa High School in San Francisco, performed by 20 high school youth, expressing through dance, spoken word, song, and poetry what learning about the UDHR meant to them. Under the brilliant guidance of creative director Ellen Sebastian Chang, the performance began with questioning the relevance of this 1948 document and literally shredding it, to then realizing its significance and compelling manifestation of its words. Seeing how learning about the UDHR, powered by the creative arts process and the rite of passage-like experience of being the teachers, how that inspired the youth to want to help further the principles of the UDHR and feel a sense of purpose in their lives led to the development of The World as It Could Be. The program has continued to evolve and have a positive impact thanks to the invaluable participation of Ellen, our creative arts leaders, collaborations with school administrators and teachers, the outstanding graphic art, website, and online engagement talents of Jasmine Gota, involvement with the work of HRE USA, and the generous support, both financially and with continuing encouraging words of so many, including my friends and family who are all watching this. It's making me a bit nervous. Thank you. We live in challenging times with discouraging rhetoric that all too powerfully engenders division, fear, and degradation of others. But what continues to inspire me is knowing that the UDHR was a result of concerted international action to make sure that the horrors of World War II never happened again, and that we could live in a world that embraces equality, equity, justice, and dignity for all. The aspirational framework of the UDHR, just as that of the U.S. Declaration of Human Rights, is providing steadfast basis for all of us to speak and act forcefully, to manifest what is intended for all people and sentient beings. I look forward to doing all that I can to further recognition and appreciation of the UDHR and human rights principles as a connective framework for positive change. And I am deeply grateful to Yvonne for her ongoing leadership of the world as it could be to enable the program to thrive and have continuing positive impacts. Thank you. And Yvonne, on to you.
Well, thank you. It is my honor and privilege to work with Sandy and to host The World as It Could Be. For these are very challenging times, and we need human rights education in all of its forms to help make the world a better place. In the past year, we have expanded The World as It Could Be into a broader national and international network. We have now formal partnerships with universities and organizations in Italy, Cyprus, Greece, England, and Wales. We are hosting conferences, webinars, trainings, research, publications, and we are advancing The World as It Could Be's Rite of Passage program. Look forward to our forthcoming podcast and YouTube programs that will begin in 2026. Thank you, Sandy, for creating The World as It Could Be, and for all of you who have worked in countless ways to make this day possible. We extend our gratitude to and for all of you. Let us continue to work in partnership in the days to come. The world needs us, all of us. Thank you so much for this award.
And please check out, I believe it'll be in the chat. You can see more about our program and resources. And I hope you'll check out this brief excerpt from our very first presentation that expresses,
straight or what?
excuse me, that helps celebrate what the UDHR means on this anniversary of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And speaking about youth and the power of youth, I'm going to continue and to share awards that are very special to me. And I'm excited to share that to inspire a new generation of human rights activists, HRE USA created the Youth in Action for Human Rights Award. And these awards recognize youth leadership in the defense of and for the advocacy for human rights in the United States. So these awards we annually honor, and we do for both an individual or a group of high school age. And it's a rigorous process. So, the individual youth and the youth groups that apply, they really go through a process of writing a proposal, sharing their work. It's able to show us the impact that they're having in their communities and beyond. And we really evaluate these applications on the basis of impact, independence, sustainability, creativity, and the relevance to human rights. So I want to start by honoring one of our two chosen individual awardees, Miriam Zara, who is a student at the Young Women's STEM and Research Preparatory Academy in El Paso, Texas. And she was named an individual winner for her outstanding activism and leadership on behalf of social justice. Over the past 3 years, she has worked as an independent journalist covering issues on the intersection of politics and racial economic injustice to bring awareness to youth issues and advocate for change. So, Miriam, are you here with us? Are you ready to share? Is she here? Christy, I'm not able to see everybody right now. Liz, do you see her?
I'm looking now.
I don't see her, so maybe we can go on to
We're going
the
to,
next.
so,
We know that many are in class and yet they were trying to get on. So.
oh, they are in high school, so it's not the best timing. So, the next youth we would like to honor is Shivam Taylor, who's a junior at Quaker High School in Sewickley, Pennsylvania. So he was named an individual winner for his outstanding activism on behalf of human rights, the human right to health care. He fights for healthcare access to be a basic human right for all. Is he with us on the call? Okay.
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, great. Why don't you take the mic and share with us your work?
Hi, my name is Shivam Talang, and I'm very honored to receive the Youth in Action for Human Rights Award. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the specific human rights I'm interested in and what I'm doing to help with the issue. So, healthcare accessibility is a pressing concern worldwide that has often been overlooked, with over 100 million people in the US lacking access to adequate healthcare. People find themselves in situations where their loved ones or family members are in critical condition and need treatment but cannot get care in time. To make this issue even worse, patients in low income areas or poverty are almost 2 times more susceptible to unavailable healthcare. This problem became the foundation of a platform called MedMatch, the first ever tool to match specialists with healthcare in seconds. And I created this to address one of the most serious problems in healthcare, which is accessibility. Using a search algorithm and database scraper, MedMatch can connect patients with the best specialists in seconds and handle referrals for offices as well. The platform is designed for user friendliness, so when a user logs onto the platform, they can just choose the specialty that they're looking for, such as a cardiologist or rheumatologist. From there, we take the user's location and then display the best specialist to the patient on metrics such as availability, rating, specialization, matching insurance, and more. This process enables patients to find quality doctors in minutes, transforming a process that typically takes months into one that now takes just minutes. In addition to just benefiting patients, we also take the burden away from PCP offices and reduce their referral rates by over 10 times for just one office. In terms of impact so far, we are currently serving 30,000 patients, partnered with numerous healthcare providers and home health companies across the US. And we've additionally expanded internationally into places such as Haiti, who lack the most basic human rights, especially for healthcare as well. In addition to this platform MedMatch, I've also taken a big interest in improving healthcare efficiencies through research initiatives. With Carnegie Mellon University, I created a fall detection device and application to help elderly patients get immediate care after falls, and have also partaken in more research to help with healthcare accessibility. Um, my main goal is to use my background in computation to help make the most direct impact in healthcare and hopefully help out as many people as possible as I continue to expand. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. That is just extraordinary. I can't believe you're in high school. Can I ask one quick question?
Yeah, no
Can
problem.
can you tell us what inspired you to create this project?
Yeah, definitely. Within my family, like for example, like my grandparents, they would really struggle with being able to get healthcare, and additionally, volunteering in my family's primary care office, I saw the struggles that patients face on a daily basis, and then just from talking to providers, patients, and like starting to understand these problems, I wanted to help out with this issue.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for bringing this to all of us, for helping us. Thank you. Okay, I'm just kind of amazed, but I will move forward. I'll move forward. So, like I shared earlier, we also present the Youth in Action Award with a group. And the group that we've chosen to honor this year is Group Vote 16 Maryland. So this is a group of high schoolers that created this coalition, and they work to lower the voting age to 16 across Maryland's municipalities and the broader goal of empowering youth and encouraging lifelong civic engagement. Is there anyone here from the group to speak about it today?
Yep. Hi, everyone. Thank you guys so much, first of all, for awarding us. We really appreciate and are so grateful for our recognition. My name is Vanessa Lee. I serve as one of the co-directors for Vote 16 Maryland. On here with me on the call is my co-director, Anya Kleinman. Anya, if you want to say hi.
Hi, everyone.
And so we're so excited to talk about our story. So Vote 16, essentially, we are a youth-led, nonpartisan coalition advocating for youth suffrage across the state of Maryland. We started when Anya and I were both 16 years old, and so it's quite fitting. But our story is basically, I personally felt in my community and in my local government that my voice wasn't being heard, and especially with the new talks about, budget cuts and educational in insecurity and uncertainty with the new political climate of our time in our society. I definitely felt that now is a time to step up and make a change. And we realized that if the problem was systemic, which was voting, then the solution should be systemic as well. And so we decided that, you can only go so far when you're a 16-year-old, besides advocacy and besides lobbying. The real root of making your voices heard is by voting. And so that's where our mission lies, is providing that actual tangible way for students and for young people to get involved in the civic process. And so Anya, if you want to talk about our impact and our results.
Yeah, thank you so much, Vanessa, for that general introduction. Since founding our coalition around 2 years ago, we have built a team of 160 youth across 10 plus counties within the state of Maryland. And we've been able to directly contribute to the lowering of the voting age in 2 Maryland cities, but have also been involved in the lowering of the voting age across 10 Maryland municipalities, which has been incredibly exciting. We recently received news that College Park, which is the most recent city to have lowered the voting age, or rather the second most recent city to have lowered the voting age in the state of Maryland, we recently received news that youth actually just had their first election a few weeks ago, which was such an incredible honor and also such an exciting, tangible result that we were able to, on the ground, have an involvement in the enfranchisement of an actual voting bloc. And we view this to be an essential human rights issue. We believe that, given the vast evidence suggesting that at 16, individuals are cognitively capable of making comprehensive voting decisions, that it is a matter of one's human rights that they are allowed to vote at ages 16 and 17, because we believe the benchmark should not be drawn arbitrarily at a specific age, but should be drawn based on metrics rooted in science. And we've been able to undertake research that aligns with the advocacy we're doing on the ground, working with professors out of the University of Maryland to undertake a comprehensive review of every single municipality within the state of Maryland and to ascertain the likelihood that we can lower the voting age across each city. So we are excited to undertake further advocacy based on the findings of that research, and we're super excited to be part of this effort, which is gaining momentum not just within the state of Maryland, but across the country. And we also want to thank LaJuan Allen, and the entire HRE USA team for helping us in our advocacy and entrusting us with this award.
That is amazing. Thank you so much. And you've been doing this now for 2 years. So are there now new 16-year-olds taking up the torch?
Yes, and it's very funny that you asked that. Vanessa and I have been joking that we're becoming too old for the advocacy, which we don't fully believe. But yes, we are working with a team of 16-year-olds to make sure that the advocacy is, as always, rooted in lived experience and not just, a passion for the cause. We believe that the lived experience is really important. So we're working on passing the torch, as it were, to a group of younger organizers.
Congratulations. It's amazing the work you're doing. Thank you so much. So I wanted to take a moment just to recognize and acknowledge several other finalists for this award. Like I shared earlier, it's a rigorous process, not only going through the application process, but then having your application selected and then being interviewed. But not one, but at least two of the people on the HRE USA team for this award. So I want to take a moment to recognize Ishao Logan of West Sacramento, California, Sammy Shapiro of Los Angeles, California, and Joseph Shing of Bloomington, Indiana. And and for the group award finalist, outreach debate. And I want to share that you will hear news from the HR USA. We are going to host a roundtable with the winners and the finalists in January to really continue the work, to have a platform for them to share and encourage each other and be accountable to each other as they continue their great work. So thank you, everybody who applied for this award and who received it today. And now I'm going to pass the mic back to Liz.
Thank you, Alana. And thank you, everyone who just shared a little bit more about their work in human rights. I am also, like Alana, in awe of what you're able to achieve at such a young age. It's incredibly impressive. And I just want to say congratulations on behalf of HRE USA, but also everyone else too. It's truly incredible work. And next, so we'll transition into the next award, which is the UCCHRE Human Rights in Higher Education Award. And I will hand it over to Christina to introduce the awardee this year.
Hello, happy Human Rights Day to all of you. This award is given by the University and College Consortium for Human Rights Education. It's an annual award that aims to recognize an individual organization, initiative, or publication that is making an outstanding contribution to human rights education. And we seek to acknowledge as well work that embodies human rights principles in its activities. And this year, we are very happy to announce that the recipient is Dr. William Simmons, known to many of us as Bill. He's a professor of gender and women's studies and founder of the Human Rights Practice Program at the University of Arizona, has a number of publications related to human rights, and is also known for his practice and collaboration with many different stakeholders and actors around the world working to support human rights. So I will turn it over to him with much congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Christina, and thanks so much. This award means a lot to me, and I've really enjoyed the presentation so far. And I just want to congratulate Pedro, my fellow Arizonan, and we need to meet in Phoenix at some point to get coffee, and I'd love to hear more about your work. Sandy and Yvonne, Miriam, Shivam, and Vanessa and Anya for doing such wonderful work. And Anya, yeah, once you get to 17, you can retire and you don't need to do any more human rights work. Now we really need you. We really need your help. Um, this award it means so much to me because it's coming from UCCHRE and HRE USA. And these two organizations have meant so much to me for the last 10 years. Um, UCCHRE, when I first heard about it and joined, I was surprised that the leaders were mostly grad students, postdocs, assistant professors, people finishing their dissertations. It was incredible the work that they were doing and have done. And as you know, being a graduate student or a postdoc or assistant professor in these days is really tough business. And I just want to thank them and congratulate them through life's ups and downs that they've had over the last 10 years to have built such an important organization. And then HRE USA, I'm kind of a groupie for HRE USA. I love the work. I love the organizations that are part of HRE USA, the grassroots nature, the focus on youth. Um, I'll do anything for HRE USA. I'll hang out with them at any time, any place. Um, and I'll just announce that we're just let you know that we're doing a virtual event in February. It will be a virtual youth summit. It's the second one we've done. And we expect about 500 youth from about 40 different countries, mostly in the global south. And we really need help creating this. Organizations, if you want to help, if you want to co-sponsor, if you want to hang out, if you want to do whatever you want to help us, that would be great. We're going to have tracks that students can participate in, which include things like climate change and migration, trauma and self-care for youth human rights defenders, um, little known stateless populations, kind of these pockets of stateless or groups. Um, we're going to do a panel on Gen Z revolutions, which we think is so important, and then also on indigenous knowledge and reclamation. And we'll have a couple other tracks as well. And then we'll do follow-up with capacity building for these youth. So if you know youth groups that you want to have involved in this, let me know. If you're an organization or represent an organization, want to help us out, we'd really appreciate it. So with that, thank you so much. This is quite an honor.
Thank you so much for your incredible work and also presenting and sharing with everyone. And I will say that the event that you just promoted sounds very interesting, especially the Gen Z component. And yeah, great job and congratulations again. Truly deserved. And we can go to the next portion. So a part of our event also I apologize for any background noise. The next part of our event, we're going to shift in to some updates within human rights education and how we've been supporting human rights and human rights education as well. So I'm going to start with our first update, which is on the podcast. So for those of you who don't know or might not be familiar, HRE USA launched a podcast, I think around two or 3 years ago now. And we're almost at 70 episodes. And we feature human rights educators, professors, students. More recently, we've been trying to incorporate a lot of different youth voices as well. And I don't know if she's here, but Ava, we've also brought in a lot of youth on the actual podcast production team too. Ava has been a great help with that as well. I'm just going to give her a shout out. And on that note as well, so for our podcast where we interview human rights educators and talk about human rights curriculum and human rights issues, we currently have our host, Bill Fernikes, who has been incredible. I think he's on this call, but I just also want to thank him for all the wonderful work he has done. So he's transitioning out of our host role. So we are currently looking for somebody who would be interested in helping host our podcast. That would mean doing interviews, possibly reaching out to people, and kind of acting as the voice for our program. So that being said, if you know anyone who might be interested, or if you might be interested yourself in getting involved in the podcast, please do let me know. I'll paste my my email in the description. We're always looking for more people to get involved, especially youth. If anyone on this call is interested, please do let me know, either as a host or also just general involvement. We're always looking for more people to join. And with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to our next update, which is about our Training as Action series.
Hey everyone, my name is Sa Ajuman Bedu, and I am very happy to share a brief update on HRE USA's task series for this year and the beginning parts of next year. It was an incredible honor to serve as a fellow this summer, and as part of my work, I was able to ground the theme of the series this year as defending democracy and human rights in a changing world. And across all of these sessions we've held so far, our goal has been to create a space for honest dialogue, critical reflections, and also to share some strategies in the moments where democratic norms and human rights are really under pressure from many directions, looking at misinformation, polarization, climate injustice, and also the shrinking civic spaces that we have right now, and also our digital threats. So to date, we have led sessions on the foundations of democratic erosion, civic power, and the role of human rights education in strengthening our democratic participations. And participants have also consistently shared that what they value most is the ability to also think across some of these differences that we have, and also to make sense of the complex issues and build community around some solutions that we could come up with in our sessions. So now I would want to highlight some of our upcoming sessions, which will begin next year, January 26th. Module 6 is going to look at intersectional democracy, focusing specifically on race and migration. And in that session, we are going to explore how race, migration, and systemic inequality will shape access to democratic participation, and how human rights education can center some of these marginalized voices in our civic spaces. In our module 7, we are going to be looking at the second part of intersectional democracy, but focus that on gender and disability rights. And that session will look at how gender and disability justice intersects with democracy rights, and what inclusive participation would look like in practice for these people. Module 8 is going to look at digital rights and democracy, navigating AI, surveillance, and privacy. And of course, this is also a very timely and urgent conversation that we have to have specifically within the context of human rights and human rights education. So it's going to be a very fun and really exciting and informative session. And finally, our module 9 is going to be the culminating session, which is going to be the Action Lab. And I'm very, very excited about this particular one because it's going to bring together all of the modules that we have had so far. And we are going to sit down and get out of our heads with the theory for a little bit and see how we can translate the theory into practice, and how we can be able to implement all of the strategies that we can come up with in our classrooms, in our campuses, in our organizations, in our communities. So it's very exciting. It's a very exciting sessions that we have had so far, and the ones that are also going to come. I also have to mention that each session is free and open to the public. So if you're interested in signing up, we would really encourage you to do so, and also encourage your networks to and share this across. Your engagement will really, really strengthen the collaborative impact of this work. So kindly share this across all of your networks. We will share the details of the upcoming sessions with you with our listserv, or actually I'll add it to the chat as well. Thank you so much, and I really look forward to seeing all of you in our upcoming sessions.
Thank you for the wonderful update on tasks. I have also joined a couple sessions, and I will say I highly recommend them. Doing wonderful work too. Next, we'll go to an update on NCSS.
Hey everybody, this is Ari. Sorry for my camera being off. I'm in a snowstorm and the internet is a bit sketchy when that happens. So I was able to attend the NCSS conference with Christy over the weekend in Washington, D.C. It was a pretty amazing experience. We met with a number of educators from all over the country. And two of them even won their own human rights game. I think the picture is on the next slide. And the film screening I thought was a hit for American Agitators. We had around 50 attendees, and there was some great discussion afterward with John Heffernan. Jake Skripik and Chris Buckley did a really wonderful job helping facilitate all of that. We also were able to connect with quite a few of the past O'Brien Award winners. And one of our youth award winners was at the film screening too, and she's now studying at Georgetown, I believe. What else? We collaborated with Amnesty International and Woven Teaching, and it was really just an empowering few days. And I think it's so cool to have this event right now today after all of that. Just a lot of inspiration all the way around. So congratulations to all of our winners today too. And Christy, if you feel that you want to add anything else, go right ahead.
You did a wonderful job, and I'll just mention we're all on the second to the left of that picture up there with Amnesty. The Amnesty team is Anna Eleanor Fierst, who is Eleanor Roosevelt's great granddaughter. And we have talked about ways to collaborate with their work, and we're looking forward to that. Nice job.
Thank you so much, Christy and Ari, for the update. Next, I'm going to hand it over to Sabrina to share more about our campaign.
Hi, Bobo.
Thanks, Liz. Hi, everybody. So we have almost hit our goal. I'm Sabrina Sanchez, for those who I have not met. I am supporting with the end of year fundraising campaign. And yeah, we have an exciting update. We have raised $12,170 so far. And our goal is 15,000. And so we have exactly 3 weeks, which is up until December 31st to meet that goal. I'm going to put some links in the chat right now. So there's a steering committee toolkit, and apologies if I missed some of you all. And if you need access, please just click on the link and I can grant you editing access. But so there's this toolkit, and there are email templates and social media post templates, and everything is written there for you. All you have to do is copy and paste and share that within your network, professional networks, personal networks. If you want to tweak anything, please feel free to tweak anything. And then I also linked to our HRE USA LinkedIn page and also our Facebook page. There are posts there, and so it would be very helpful to react, comment, share, repost, and just to so that we can hit our goal. And then I just want to give a huge shout out. I've been working closely with Christy and with Jasmine, and definitely a full on team effort. And so I appreciate all the guidance, the support, the activity, and the engagement. So really, this is just a call to action for each and every one of you on this call, to just reshare the work and help us promote this campaign so that we can hit our goal. Thank you, Christy. If there are any questions, you can put it in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them. And I'll pause here to see if Christy, I don't know if Jasmine's on the call, but if Christy and or Jasmine would like to add anything to this announcement.
Well, I think that we're really trying to hit that 15K because this next 2026 is our 15th anniversary year. So Sabrina's been doing a wonderful job, Jasmine, as you've mentioned, but it takes everyone, it takes a village, and we're really trying to build kind of a founder's circle of support. So hopefully we can be here around for the next 15. So thank you all. We know that many of you, people give over 3,000 volunteer hours for this entity every year. And so we've got to also just uphold all of that time and effort that you're all giving to. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Christy. And hi, everybody. I'm going to go rogue for a moment because we had several speakers that didn't join us today as planned. And we are going to close this event with a video we have of the UDHR reading from youth from around the world. However, we have an extra few minutes. And since we've been talking so much about community and highlighting community throughout this past hour, I wanted just to open up the floor to see if anyone has anything to share. Like, I know I'm so happy that Dr. Simmons shared this big youth event coming up with us and asked for help and let us know what's going on. Does anyone want to share anything that they have going on that they want others to know in this community? I can't see hands, so if you do, you'll have to just start to speak. Anyone? Okay. Well.
Oh, I think we have something in the chat too.
Oh, I don't have, why don't you read it, Liz? I'm sorry, I don't have access.
No, that's okay. From Monisha. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong too. She said, please check out the International Journal of Human Rights Education to read great articles, open access, and consider submitting. She's also pasted the link if anyone is interested.
That's great. So if anyone wants, go ahead.
Hi, Elena. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to be here. I'm joining you from Montreal, Canada. So congratulations to everyone who won the award, and it's great to join today this event. It's a great event. I'll put in the chat a public awareness video that we're launching in 4 languages: English, French, Spanish, and Arabic, for the promotion of human rights worldwide, and just to create allyship and a network around the world, and just to know that we're here in Canada as allies, and wanting to also continue the work for the promotion of human rights in the world and in the USA. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jean Sebastian. And if you didn't hear the name of his organization, it's Equitas, and it's a human rights education agency in Canada that I've known about for years. They're extraordinary. So do check out their work. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll also just read 2 other promos from the chat. Sandra sent a link for human rights education programs for K through 12 teachers across all subjects and high school students as well. And also a follow-up on the Human Rights Journal. They just, wow, that is incredible. They just hit over 100,000 downloads from 200 countries, and they were a UCCHRE award a few years ago. Congratulations. That is also amazing as well. And Christy also just promoted, if you want to speak quick on that too. Okay, I can also read
there's
it.
just an International Association for Human Rights Education that is having a conference for those who are looking at places to go in a global context. That will be held in Munster, Germany, May 26th through 27th. And there'll be a world conference against racism here in Minnesota. That's the deadline for calls for proposals and actions is January 16th, and the conference will actually be held August 3rd through 5th in 2026 here at the University of Minnesota.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Like I said, like all of us have shared today, it's really about building this community and supporting each other, because there's so many of us around the world doing extraordinary things. But if we don't know about it, we can't support what's happening. So please do share what you learned today, share these links, support us here at HRE USA, and bring us into your communities.
I'll mention one more thing, Alana, just because
Please.
Ava, who was mentioned, she was our intern. She was an Edmonds Fellow this summer, as well as an intern with us during the fall semester, and was selected as a student with Glenn Matoma to go to from Columbia University to go over to the international conference that's being held right now in Budapest. It's a youth conference looking at youth human rights education engagement. So I think it's a good time to give them a shout out too. Thanks.
Thank you. So we are going to close, but we're going to do so with showing you this video. And if you could hang on to watch the whole thing, that's great. But if you can't, we understand. But we just really want to thank everyone for taking the time to be here with us today. And Liz, did you want to share anything?
Yeah, I also just wanted to echo everything Alana said, and also thank you all for joining so much. And I think that the Human Rights Day is, in its essence, about honoring the UDHR, but I think it's also really important. And this event and hearing all of your stories, it's a constant reminder that the work continues through people today. And through educators, youth leaders, building dignity, justice, and equity as well. So thank you again, everyone, for joining. It was truly a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. So I'm going to hit play. So if you can stay, please do. And we look forward to being in touch with you all. Thank you so much.
On December 10th, 1948, the General Assembly of the United Nations adopted and proclaimed the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the UDHR. This declaration guarantees the rights of all people. December 10th is recognized as Human Rights Day worldwide.
The General Assembly proclaims this Universal Declaration of Human Rights as a common standard of achievement for all peoples and all nations, and shall strive by teaching and education to promote respect for these rights and freedoms.
Todos los seres humanos nacen iguales en dignidad y derechos. 第二条、いかなる種類の差別からの自由。任何人不得使为奴隶或奴役，一切形式的奴役制度和奴隶买卖，均应予以禁止。
المادة الخامسة لا يجوز إخضاع أحد للتعذيب والمعاملة الحاطة بالكرامة.
Todo ser humano tiene derecho en todas partes al reconocimiento de su personalidad jurídica.
모든 사람은 법 앞에 평등하며 어떠한 차별도 없이 법의 동등한 보호를 받을 권리를 가진다. 모든 사람은 이 선언에 위반되는 어떠한 차별과 그러한 차별의 선동으로부터 동등한 보호를 받을 권리를 가진다.
Artículo 8. Toda persona tiene derecho a un recurso efectivo ante los tribunales nacionales competentes que la ampare contra actos que violen sus derechos fundamentales reconocidos por la Constitución o por la ley.
Ningú pot ser arrestat, detingut ni exiliat arbitràriament. Article 10. Everyone is entitled to a fair and public hearing by an independent tribunal. Artículo 11. Toda persona acusada de delito tiene derecho a que se presuma su inocencia mientras no se pruebe su culpabilidad, conforme a la ley y en el juicio público en el que se le hayan asegurado todas las garantías necesarias para su defensa. Article 12. No one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence.
Article 13. Everyone has the right to freedom of movement and residence within the borders of each state.
Ogni individuo ha il diritto di cercare e di godere in altri paesi asilo dalle persecuzioni.
Article 15. Everyone has the right to a nationality. No one shall be deprived nor denied the right to change his nationality.
Article 16. Men and women of full age, without any limitation, have the right to marry and to have a family.
Her şahıs tek başına veya başkalarıyla birlikte mal ve mülk sahibi olmak hakkına haizdir.
Każdy człowiek ma prawo wolności myśli, sumienia i wyznania. Prawo to obejmuje swobody zmiany wyznania lub wiary oraz swobodę głoszenia swego wyznania lub wiary indywidualnie i razem z innymi ludźmi, publicznie i prywatnie, przez nauczanie, praktykowanie, uprawianie kultu i konstytucyjne obyczajów.
Artículo 19. Todos tienen el derecho a la libertad de expresión y opinión sin intromisión. 제20조. 모든 사람은 평화적인 집회는 결사의 자유에 대한 권리를 가진다.
Toute personne a droit à la liberté de réunion et d'association. Nul ne peut être obligé de faire partie d'une association.
Article 21. Everyone has the right to take part in freely elected government. Everyone should get a vote and all votes should be equal. Article 22. Everyone has the right to Social Security, indispensable for his dignity and the free development of his personality.
Article 23. You have the right to work and to get a salary that allows you to live and support your family.
Article 24. Everyone has the right to rest and leisure, including reasonable limitation of working hours and periodic holidays with pay. Article 25. Everyone has the right to a standard of living adequate for the well-being of himself and his family.
Artículo 26. Todos tienen el derecho a la educación. La educación se orientará al pleno desarrollo de la identidad humana y a la consolidación del respeto de los derechos humanos.
You just would help me build my own personality.
We belong in the same classroom as everybody else, not segregated from everyone.
If we need help, we get help.
Just because we have a disability doesn't mean we can't reach our full potential.
Artículo 27. Toda persona tiene derecho a tomar parte libremente en la vida cultural de la comunidad. Article 28. Everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. Article 29. Everyone has duties towards a community within which his personality can fully develop. The law should guarantee human rights.
Article 30. No society and no human being in any part of the world should act in such a way as to destroy the rights that we have just shared.